Blaine Fowler.
Yes.
And he immediately looks out for his brother, Jaron.
That's
Jordan.
what I do. That's like brothers are gotta be brothers.
Blaine, explain to the people. You sit down. What did you see? How did you help Jaron?
Well, Jaron had some type of Jaron. He's my brother, but I can't remember his name. That's okay. I call my own kids the wrong names all the time.
Yes.
But he had a seed of some type in his tooth.
It was a black.
So when I looked at him, it was like a horror film. It was like, wah, wah. I'm like, has he been on TV like with that giant black seed in his tooth for the whole first segment of this show? Come on, you got to help a brother out. I'm like, so I'm
sorry, that's on the producer.
I used Ty Detmer. Ty's neck, which is the size of his neck. I used Ty's neck to get it off.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I should have caught that in the mirror, but I'm just so embarrassed with the whole A-block with that.
You dislodged it. Now, what eventually got the seed out of his teeth was the corner of a stale red vine.
Because Ty's neck wasn't quite sticky enough.
Still have.
Ty's neck was good enough to get it out of the crack, and then and then we were able to get it out with the Twizzler.
Team effort.
Here we go.
Team effort.
So it was a compelling and rich commercial.
There you go. TV props, right? TV props.
Somebody should just follow us around when we're not on the air on all of these shows, because it would be very revealing.
In fact, I think somebody was doing that on social media. Yeah. BYU Sports Nation's social media account is lit today. Okay, Blaine, now to the Twitter question.
Okay.
This is a compelling conversation, and some people don't like this because the logic comes in. It's like, there are still 2 games left this season, so why are you talking about the quarterback depth chart in 2018? We don't care. We're going there. What's your way too early BYU quarterback depth chart for 2018?
It's hard because I have to see 2 more games. I do have to see 2 more games.
Well, we're saying right now. Yeah.
Right now, I don't think Ty has a depth chart because he has no clue. Although I think he really likes what he saw from Joe Critchlow.
How could you not?
And so I think Joe Critchlow has a thing to just has an opportunity over the next 2 games to just grab it by the neck.
Yes.
And be the guy going into spring ball. If he plays like he did in that game and then it kind of expands the game. So Ty was pretty conservative with him. He did exactly what we talked about in all the pregame shows, and that is he didn't go out and lose the game. So he managed the game. He made some throws where I was just thinking, oh, yeah, okay, that's what we saw in fall camp. There weren't live guys coming at him, hitting him. This time there were, and he still stood in there with a lot of poise, and his mechanics held up, and he delivered some strikes in good spots. And so I was like, okay. In a real game, he looked like he looked in fall camp, which was very impressive. To me, the 2 biggest surprises in fall camp were Matt Bushman. I thought he was surprise number 1.
You called that one on the show.
I was like, wow, this guy's going to be good, and he has been phenomenal. The other guy that stood out to me was Joe Critchlow. I was going, man, with a quarterback, you never know till they get in a real game if how they look in practice will translate because there's way more pressure. The decision-making has to be quicker. There's guys that are coming and smacking you in the face. Can you get up and go back and play the next play? Well, all indications in that first game were, yes, this kid translates into a game. Now, let's see if he can consistently do it for the next 2 weeks. If he can, then I think he goes into spring ball and he starts to get the number 1 reps. Now, I don't think that Bo Hodge did anything to hurt himself when he played other than get hurt.
Actually hurting himself.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, somebody else hurt him. He didn't hurt himself. But the only
49% passer doesn't – not a yellow flag to you?
Well, a little bit. But remember, that last game, he was playing with a significant injury.
Goes 3 for 10.
Yeah, and so that kills his percentage. So I don't think that Bo's done anything where you just go, hey, this guy can't play. I think Bo played well enough that Ty's got to go, intriguing. He's really athletic. The team rallied around him. He did some good things. So I think that those 2 guys go into spring with an equal shot. And if Joe plays off the charts the next 2 weeks, Joe probably starts with the number 1 reps. And, how healthy will Bo be by spring? His injury is one that's fixable and, not a long-term thing. So I think those guys have a 2-man battle in spring. And then everybody's like, wait, you haven't even talked about Tanner Mangum yet. And the problem with that is Tanner's not going to be available for spring ball. And so there's a huge value in being present and being there and getting reps and doing all those things. And so if Tanner can be back midsummer where he can work with a team all summer long and you can see signs, then I think you take the first week of fall camp and go, hey, this is a 3-man race. Let's see who wins it. But I don't think that I think Ty now just goes, this job's wide open. This job's wide open. And I think a lot of that will depend on how healthy Bo is for spring ball, and then how fast Tanner can come back from his injury and how he's going to be. So there's a lot up in the air. But certainly Joe Critchlow has an opportunity in the next 2 weeks to make a really strong claim that he should get that first rep with the ones in spring ball is mine. And then if he performs out, if you get that first rep with the ones and you play well, can anyone unseat you from being the one? So he's got a really big opportunity. That's extra pressure I'm putting on AP Joe. So
well, did he not feel that type of pressure going into UNLV though?
I think he thought with UNLV, ooh, this is my chance. I got to go out there and I got to stake my claim for next year. But I also don't need to do anything crazy, because I think Ty's been telling him all week, don't go try to win the job. Don't go try to win the game. Manage the game for me.
He threw 22 passes.
Make good decisions, manage the game. I'm not going to put you in bad situations. We're going to give you easy reads. But he did what he was coached to do, which was very impressive.
BYU's 2-8. Homie throws for 160, and we're acting like, it's great. It's because BYU struggled so much. We saw some semblance of something. This changed maybe my thought process in this, okay? So I look at the 2018 schedule, and I go, would I rather have Bo or Joe? And you tell me what you think. At Arizona, Cal, at Wisconsin, at Washington, at Boise State, at Utah. Which guy gives you the best chance to win? At this point, I go, give me Bo Hodge to run around those Power 5
Be healthy,
linebackers.
yes.
Give Joe Critchlow a few games to maybe show us a little more. Because it's UNLV.
Right.
It's not those teams I just listed.
Exactly. And so Bo has an element to his game. And you know what? Bo showed me when he played, he can put velocity on the ball and make all the throws. So the thing that would change for me is, even though it's UMass and Hawaii, if Joe goes out the next 2 games and starts throwing BBs all over the yard, and it's just 18-yard comeback, strike, deep ball, strike, and then you start to go, ooh, okay, this kid is as advertised. So, yeah, the jury's still out for me. And like I said, Bo, I don't think Bo did anything for me to put him out of the running for that. And Joe's done some things to put me in the running. For me to put him in the running in the
he needed that game to be in the convo.
So he had that game. I'm like, okay, he was well coached, and he played and executed the game plan and played really well. Now it helped that Squally's back. I mean, he is playing well, and that O-line is knocking people off the ball. The offensive line's been the one consistent all season long, even against the big time schools early in the schedule. I thought the offensive line's played well all year. And I think that Squally's kind of come along. He's healthy. He's making quicker reads. He's running downhill. Having that in this game, that helped Joe a lot too. So it's nice when you have a running back running over 200 yards and you have that run game. And then the pass game's kind of open. So, but I'm telling you, Joe played well enough for me to put him in the conversation. I can't pick to tell you who's the #1 reps in the first day of spring ball until I see the next 2 games. And Joe can, I think, earn that. But I think Bo gets equal reps, whether he's the first reps or not, and then we'll see. We'll see how that goes. And we know that Tanner won't be in spring ball, so that's an opportunity for these other guys to rise. And if Tanner can come back and be 100% healthy, he's going to have to look really good in summer, and then it's a 3-man game next year.
Maybe you should just follow AP Joe on the Twitter machine.
I love AP Joe.
And that will help you make a clear decision on who should start.
So Gavin comes home the other night and he goes, Dad, have you seen the AP Joe thing? And I said, no, what's the AP Joe thing? And he says, well, Joe, I guess on his mission was the assistant to the president. So somebody's nicknamed him AP Joe. And I don't know if you've seen the Hey Chuck Norris things, but this is along those lines. So they say things about, just as an example.
Should we read a few?
Yeah, well, I can remember a couple off the top of my head, like AP Joe got bit by a cobra. After 5 days of excruciating pain, the cobra died. AP Joe went out for a jog and accidentally won the Boston Marathon. I mean, it's just like, because now he's like a superhero all of a sudden because he had a good game and he threw for 160. But I love it. They're just really fun. Zebras came into existence because AP Joe hit a horse with an uppercut. I mean, or not zebras, giraffes. Sorry.
Yeah,
giraffes came into existence.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's at AP Joe Faux. F-A-U-X, right? So the last one is too good. AP Joe met Manti Te'o's girlfriend.
They're pretty good. It's fun. So I don't know who even started this little Twitter feed, but it would be fun if people started to contribute to it. Some have contributed, but I think we should have thousands of these AP Joe ones, just like the Chuck Norris ones.
Throws for 160 and beats you.
When AP Joe comes in, when AP Joe comes into a dark room, he doesn't turn the lights on. He turns the dark off. When AP Joe does push-ups, he doesn't push up. He pushes the earth down.
Yeah.
So that's the thinking, guys. That's the thinking, guys.
They're all classic.
One game, 160 yards. He's a superhero.
He's a superhero. Exactly.
That's where we are. That's where we are right now at 3-8. Blaine Fowler with us on BYU Sports Nation, dual threat analyst, and with that dual threat responsibility, Blaine, comes the basketball portion now.
Big week.
You called the BYU Mississippi Valley State game on BYUtv Saturday night. No surprise, BYU won big going away against a team they should dominate. But like you said, big week. What kind of a chance does BYU have to go 2-0 this week with a road game at Princeton, coming home to UT Arlington, who knocked the Cougars out of the NIT last year?
This is a tough week. I mean, that's a long shot to win too. And I'm really anxious because I've seen them against teams now outside of New Mexico, which I think that New Mexico game was a real blessing for BYU because New Mexico has talent. It's on the road in a hostile environment in the pit against pressure, full court all game long. So it was an unexpected addition to raise money for flood relief and hurricane relief down in Houston. Best thing that ever could happen to BYU is to play that game. That prepares them better for Princeton, not because Princeton's going to press them all over the court, but they were in a tough game environment. Because these other games, I've seen some really good things, but physically those teams didn't challenge BYU. Now Princeton is talented, and they're disciplined, and they run their stuff, and they make you defend, and they can knock down threes. And we've heard all about BYU's focus on three-point defense. I've seen it in practice. I've seen an increased intensity level. Now we're going to see against a team that understands how to get guys open and shoot threes, and they'll run their stuff until somebody is open. If BYU can be disciplined enough for a full shot clock and be there on the catch, not just close out on guys. If they get a win on the road at Princeton, I might be in, guys. I might be in on this team.
Princeton shot over 50% and 9 for 15 from the three-point line and lost to a good Butler team.
Like 10.
By 10.
This is a significant challenge on the road. And the Ivy League, you don't think of as a big sports league, but in basketball, it's a really good league, very competitive league, and they are very good. And so this is a big challenge. And then UT Arlington is they're very athletic, and they get up into you defensively. And so they have a completely different challenge against a team who has the entire core of their last year's team that beat BYU here and advanced in the NIT tournament, coming in here thinking, oh, we've done this before. We can do this. So this is a huge – if they're 2-0 this week, oh, I'm all in. Because then I'm thinking all of these things I've been watching in practice and what I've seen out on the floor against inferior competition is for real. So my book is out for this week. I think 2-0 is a tough ask, but if they can do that, then I'm all in on this team. Then I think that they've made big strides if they can do that.
Hey, a split this week against two good opponents wouldn't be the worst thing.
No, you're right. And if they lose on the road to Princeton, say, and they play extremely well and they're in the game, I'm even okay with that.
All right, great stuff, Blaine.
All right, guys.
AP Joe.
Thanks for helping dislodge that seat out of my team.
More got to come.
Yes.
You got to help a brother out, right? Or a nephew out, really.
Yeah.
It's a nephew.
Yeah.
You got to help a nephew out.
Yeah, nephew.